All right, why don't we go ahead and get started? So, good morning, everyone. My name is Karen East here. I'm the Senior Director of Support Services for IT here at Roger Williams, and I want to welcome you to Exploring RWU's Technology Tools and Services. We have tried to put together some content about some tips and resources that we think may be helpful to you, maybe some resources that we have here that you may not be aware of. And we have a really exceptional group of staff from IT here to present that content today. I also want to encourage you to ask questions, not just about what we're sharing about, but any questions that you may have about Roger Williams technology tools and services. And Ryan Tebow is in the chat throughout and will be answering your questions. And then we're going to have some time at the end where you can come off mute and ask questions as well. And anything that we're not able to answer today, we'll take your questions and get back to you. So I just also want to mention that we are recording this session so that we can send it out to the community for others who can't be here. And Debbie, I just saw that you have to leave early, so we will have that recording going out for the things that you're going to miss. So we're going to get started with Scott Lopes.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. My name is Scott Lopes, and I'm a senior network and systems engineer here with the Infrastructure and Operations Group in IT. Slide, please. Today, we'll be exploring various tools and services available. Let's start with single sign-on, or SSO. All faculty, staff, and students are provided with Office 365 accounts, and this is the account that is also used for SSO. This allows our users to access multiple applications with one set of login credentials. This means you only need to remember one username and password to access essential university applications, making your digital experience more seamless and secure. SSO offers several benefits. No need to remember multiple passwords or make accounts with university-provided services. Reduces the risk of password fatigue and phishing attacks. Saves time by reducing the number of logins required, and also provides a smoother and more integrated user experience. SSO also aligns with and supports many items within our IT strategic plan, such as identity management and cloud-first strategies. Slide, please. This is various applications that we do have. Most of these are SSO enabled. Slide, please. Once you log into Office 365, you can click on the app launcher icon in the top left corner, select more apps, and then all apps to see a full list of Microsoft apps available to you, as well as many SSO enabled apps. Slide, please. As shown here, this screenshot lists many of the applications that are available to us. The common ones that we're familiar with are Outlook, Word, and Excel, but there are many others that are very useful, such as Microsoft Forms and Microsoft Stream. Let's dive into some of these now. Slide, please. First, let's talk about Microsoft Stream. This is a video service from Microsoft where you can upload, view, and share videos. It's integrated with other Microsoft 365 apps, making it easy to share videos within Teams, SharePoint, and OneNote, among others. You can use Microsoft Stream to create and share training videos, record meetings, and more. Using Microsoft Stream is straightforward. You can upload video directly from your device or record them using the built-in recording feature. Once uploaded, you can organize your videos into channels and groups, making it easy to manage and share content with specific teams or departments. When using Stream to create a screen recording, there's a limit of 15 minutes per recording. Stream also supports transcription and closed captions. It can support collaboration through comments and likes on video. To create a new screen recording, you would start by clicking on the screen recording under Create New. Slide, please. You would then click on Start Screen Recording, where you can choose what to record. For example, a particular browser tab, window, or even the entire computer screen. During the recording, you also have the option to narrate by enabling the microphone using the icon on the bottom of the screen. Slide, please. Once you have finished the recording, you can perform some editing, such as removing some sections, continuing the recording, or adding background music. Slide, please. Once that is complete, you can choose who and how to share the final recording and set other options and view analytics on the video. Slide, please. Now let's discuss Microsoft Forms. This is a versatile tool that allows you to create surveys, quizzes, and polls effortlessly. It's available to all RWU faculty, staff, and students, providing a simple way to collect and analyze data. One thing to point out, this is not the same product as eTrieve SoftDocs, which will be discussed later today. Microsoft Forms can be used for various purposes. You can gather feedback from students and colleagues on courses, events, or teaching methods. You could also conduct surveys to understand student needs, preferences, and opinions. For collaborative projects and research, you can share forms with others to create collaborative assignments or gather collective input. You can also use forms for event registrations, collecting contact information, other administrative purposes, or even fun contests, such as the contest HR ran to guess the number of candy corn. Slide, please. Using Microsoft Forms is easy. You can create a form by selecting New Form or New Quiz from the Forms homepage. Add questions, customize options, and share your form via link or email. You can view real-time results and use built-in analytics to evaluate responses. There are also a number of templates that you can use to get started. Forms supports many different question types, such as choice, text fields, ratings, rankings, Likert, or Net Promoter Score. For example, if you didn't want to start with a blank form, you could use one of the templates that are available, such as this one, which is a template for post-event surveys. Slide, please. Once the form is published, you will be able to see the responses and related data as shown here. Results can be viewed in Excel, so you can use the analytical tools within that product to further work with and display the data. Microsoft Forms and Microsoft Stream are only two applications that are part of many more that are included as part of our Microsoft license, but there are other third-party applications that are also available to us. Let's take a look at some of those. Slide, please. Earlier, we saw that the app launcher, and at the top of the app launcher, we were able to click on all apps to view the full list of Microsoft apps. However, if we were to scroll down a bit, we can see many of the applications that are available to us using our Office 365 account via SSO. IT Help Desk and Roger Central are important and are used by many, and we will discuss those later in this presentation. Other applications such as our D2L Brightspace and Briggs' LMSs are also available via SSO. I want to dive into one of these a bit more, however, and that is LinkedIn Learning. Slide, please. LinkedIn Learning is an online learning platform that offers a vast library of video courses taught by industry experts. It's available to all RWU students, faculty, and staff, providing access to high-quality educational content on a wide variety of topics. LinkedIn Learning offers several benefits. For skill development, you can enhance your skills in areas such as business, technology, and creative fields. It offers you flexibility by allowing you to learn at your own pace, anytime and anywhere. You can also earn certificates of completion for the courses that you complete. LinkedIn Learning also can provide personalized course recommendations based on your career goals. You can browse and enroll in courses that interest you. The platform is user-friendly and designed to help you get the most out of your learning experience. And as an example, if I wanted to learn more about Microsoft Forms, I can search for videos and courses on that topic. Slide, please. Some popular courses on LinkedIn Learning include leadership and management, data science and analytics, and graphic design. Slide, please. This is an example of a Microsoft Excel learning path. This path includes 9 separate courses that would help you master the powerful features of Excel. I would like to turn this over to Robin, who will highlight some additional systems.
Good morning. I am Robin Levesque, a part of IT and specifically a part of the administrative systems team. It is myself and 6 others. Just a little background about the group. We all have a lot of experience. We've worked with each other in some cases for decades. We have a lot of colleague experience. Some of us have worked at other schools, but I think a great bonus is the institutional knowledge we all have and all the different systems that we are supporting. Next, please. So kind of the big system we support is Colleague. We've had Colleague at Roger Williams since 1994. It is a real-time database, meaning if you change any data in Colleague, it is immediately reflected to anybody who uses Colleague. If you are a student, if you are an employee, even a vendor, you are going to exist in the Colleague system. You do need access and permission to use Colleague. It's not appropriate for everyone. And of course, if you use Colleague off campus, you will need to use VPN to access it. Colleague is integral to registration, human resources, payroll. Even if it doesn't live in Colleague directly, the data in Colleague is being farmed out to different systems. So it's integral to many, many systems on campus, and it is constantly changing, like many things in technology. Next, please. Roger Central, also integral and used by faculty and staff and students. It is for staff. You can look at your tax information, which around this time of year, you can access your W-2. You can look at your paycheck information and various things. If you are a staff member taking classes, you'll have those other options that have to do with the student system and grading and registration. But if everyone clicks on their user profile within Roger Central, you have the ability to make some changes in Roger Central. Next slide, please. So once again, Roger Central is a real-time system. So when you access your profile and change your address, change your emergency contact, any information you change here is going to automatically get updated. Next slide, please. Another system a lot of you may be familiar with is Cognos, or maybe not overly familiar with Cognos, but maybe you're getting some reports emailed to you from Cognos. We started using Cognos around 2008. The data in Cognos is populated from the colleague system. And what happens is nightly, the data in colleague that is needed is uploaded to a data warehouse. And I will give a shout out to the data warehouse group. A lot of us in the administrative systems, of course, we're working with other members of IT, and I can speak to myself specifically here. I work very closely with Ryan Tebow and Eric Wendt in the data warehouse group because Cognos is so integrally linked to the data warehouse. It is updated nightly, so it is not going to be real time. When you get a report from Cognos, you just have to keep in mind it's based on the data from the previous day. Next slide. Tableau, another system or application that is out there. It hasn't been in use as long as Cognos, but it is an analytical tool. Not as many people use Tableau as Cognos. If you have interest in using Tableau and looking at the data analytics, they more or less appear in dashboard form. There are licensing costs involved with using Tableau, not so much with the other systems I'm mentioning. And for any of the systems, you do need to have permission. So the data owners, if you have a need to look at particular student data or employee data, you would petition HR or the registrar, get their permission, and then once that's granted, IT will set you up with the appropriate privileges to use those systems. Tableau and Cognos, due to the nature of the data, are also off campus. You need VPN to look at that data as well. Next slide, please. So like I said, you have Tableau, which is looking at things in a dashboard way for analytics, very high level. Cognos is more of a detailed view where you're taking data. Most folks are looking at it in Excel. So where you may see, oh, there were 3,000 students in the fall, maybe in a Cognos report, you're going to look at, okay, here's the 3,000 students, but I want to see them broken down by each school. Maybe I want to see an actual roster of the classes. You know, it's very much more a detailed tool. So next slide, please. eTrieve, and I know Scott made a little reference to eTrieve or soft docs. You might hear either one of those terms interchangeably. Mary Pitari and Al Rhoda are kind of the in-house experts on eTrieve. You can see on the slide, it's referencing a bunch of the different eTrieve forms that have already been designed, where you have those Microsoft forms where it's a survey or a poll. eTrieve forms are workflow, data-driven and workflow-based. They're going to involve more departments. You're going to have to really look at what you're doing and how this information is going to flow from department to department. If you have a need for an eTrieve form, it's a more involved process to submit a request. Those requests get evaluated and prioritized. But I think everybody, whether you know it or not, on campus is using eTrieve forms. They're making people's lives a lot easier, things a lot more efficient. It's not physical paper being passed around. It's these forms that are going from department to department, getting permissions and such. So next slide. So this is just a little information about the way to log into eTrieve. You can see that a lot of times you may want to immediately gravitate to username password, but you want to click on that little icon below to log into eTrieve. There are some videos on Media Tech, so you can find a little more information there. Next, please. And this overall getting colleague, Cognos, or eTrieve support, you've got the email information there. And I'll also say people can feel free to email me directly about some things in Cognos. If I do provide overviews and training in both colleague and Cognos. So I'm always happy to kind of meet with users, assess their needs. Maybe there's something you're looking for that isn't out there currently, or maybe it exists out there already, and just by giving you some access, you'll have the reporting that you need, and it's already out there. So we're always happy to entertain new requests and get more people involved in using the tools that we have. Thank you. I'll turn it over to Sam next.
I'm just going to ask one question real quickly. I saw something going on in the chat. So Robin Sue Gilmet is asking, from a benefits perspective, if someone changes their information in Rogers Central, does a report currently go out to inform them? Like, how does that sort of chain happen to ensure that that address change is, works through all the different places it needs to?
Well, I think specifically with HR, and Sue, you probably access colleague yourself, so you could see as soon as what you've done in.
Yeah, but if the employee does it, I don't know that they've changed their address. How do I know that an address has been changed so we can go into the vendor sites like Blue Cross and change their address? I don't know that. Yeah, if we go in, if Steph goes in or somebody from HRIS, we know about it. Mm-hmm. But if the employee does it and it's updated, how am I made aware of it?
There actually is a report. It's a Cognos report that speaks to that.
Probably one I don't get.
It doesn't go out automatically. It's something that you can access in a public folder.
Okay.
And I can see, I'm trying
Stephanie
to
is saying
time with Steph. We can discuss it a little bit offline, Sue, but we can definitely hook you up with something that'll help you with that question.
That would be great. That would be great. Thank you.
Could you include Stephanie in that too? Because I'm seeing that she's saying that they used to have a report with that.
Yes, it's all a part of the same world.
Yeah.
We can share with both of them.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Robin. Okay, Samantha.
Oh.
I think she's on mute.
Thank you, Karen. I just totally said a whole bunch of stuff that none of you heard. Sorry about that. Thank you, Robin and Karen. I am Samantha Marshall, the Associate Director of IT Sport Operations here at the university. I oversee a staff of both full-time and student workers that provide assistance to the community. My first topic right now is the AD Self-Service Plus, which is the password management tool that we utilize here at the university. We have this tool to enable you to manage your passwords for the different types of applications that you access here at the university, as well as your devices through AD. Our password policy is that the passwords are valid for 180 days. And I mainly pulled up the homepage of our password management tool because to update your password, you'll need to go here, which is passwords.rwu.edu, and you would log in with your username, which most of you would be just your first initial and last name, and then the password that you've been using these past 180 days. I do want to point out here that many of you are staff members here at the university, so you will need to update where it says academics to read RWU, so that way you're accessing the correct domain. Next slide, please. Once you're logged into AD Self-Service Plus, if you haven't already, I highly recommend that you complete the enrollment process. The enrollment process allows you to self-help yourself when you're locked out of your account, whether it be you need to unlock your account or reset your password. By completing the enrollment, we have 3 different verification methods. The 2 that allow you self-help are your security questions and push notification. So as you can see here, I've highlighted the first one. You would click in where it says the little edit pencil, and you can create security questions that would enable you to get yourself into AD Self-Service to be able to reset your account to access it. For push notifications, it is linked to using a mobile app that you would be able to put on your phone, and you can just click a couple of buttons on your phone and you'll be able to unlock your account or reset your account from your cell phone and be able to access any account that you need to from off campus as well as on campus. Next slide, please. So as I mentioned, our password policy is 180 days. I always point that out. And in the left, you'll see if you are approaching your due date, as I am, you will get a reminder email that says in the subject line, RWU user account status. And it lets you know how much longer you have with the password that you're currently using for your account. It also specifies what accounts are, what is mainly being affected by the password policy. As you can see on my slide here, it's mainly my network computer and the wireless access, which is our AD access. The reason I point that out is as you'll see in my right image, you have multiple accounts that are impacted by a password management change. And you can adjust which accounts you're setting to which password using the tool by selecting the little check boxes in that smaller box that you're seeing on the screen. I have 3 different associated accounts with the management tool. I have my AD account, I have my Google account, and I have an O365 account. Many of you have just the AD account and the O365 account. I do want to point out that you should also, if you don't meet the credential requirements for this password minimums, they will error and give you and ask you to submit another password. The password minimum requirements is at least eight letters, digits, or special characters, 1 capital, 1 number, 1 special character, and it cannot be a previous password within the last 3 passwords. It will not let you reset that. The last thing I want to note on this slide is at the bottom, if you have an RWU issued computer or device that logs into the network, you do need to have that device on campus for it to register your new AD password. So if you reset your password using the management tool at home, your computer, if you have a laptop that was issued to you, will not know the new password till you log in on campus using a hardwire connection. So I just wanted to make sure that that was very clear because that's a lot of calls that we receive here at the desk. Next slide, please. Okay, I've talked a bit about the desk, so I'm going to go into how to get help here at the university with your different technology needs. Next slide. So we have multiple help channels available to you all. We have the IT portal, which is mediatech.rwu.edu, which is available 24/7 here at the university. We also have a direct email address, which is mediatech@rwu.edu. If you send an email there, it goes directly to our portal and creates a ticket for you, which we will follow up with you once we receive that ticket to be able to provide assistance. The next option is the phone. Yes, we still do have a phone. It is 401-254-6363, option 1. Option 1 directs you directly to the MediaTek help desk. If you should happen to get voicemail because our agents are currently assisting other users, please leave a voicemail. The reason I say this is because your voicemail will go and generate a ticket into our portal. So someone will take that information from the voice message and be able to get back to you and assist you directly. So you don't have to keep calling. You can leave a voice message and it goes right to our team. The fourth channel available to you is our MediaTek desk that's on site here at the university. We are located on the first floor in the main library, right by the entrance, and we are on site most days during the week. For our current hours of operation, please visit it.rwu.edu, where we list them and we update them regularly to be accurate for assistance. Next slide. So I mentioned the portal because that is our direct line of communication through most of IT to you all in the community. Our portal has been set up to be able to provide self-assistance as well as reaching out assistance. As you can see, there is a search bar in the middle of the screen, so you can search our solutions, our services, and your tickets. At the bottom, we have quick link cards, which is browsing help articles, reporting an issue, and requesting a service. As we go through the next few slides, I'll be reviewing each of those card shortcuts. Next slide, please. So the first one that I mentioned is solution articles. So here at the university, there are a lot of services that we provide, as Robin and Scott mentioned earlier, and users just need an opportunity to find out how to use something, but they don't necessarily need somebody to give them a step-by-step one-on-one, because we do have some how-to guides already available that can be accessed 24/7 on our portal. We have on the left, you can see there are the different categories. Underneath those categories, we have additional folders, which as you can see on the top of my image, I kind of left you the breadcrumb of seeing that I went from the solutions to accounts and passwords into password management. The article that I pulled up was about how to enroll in AD Self-Service Plus. And as you can see, we have a live video for a step-by-step guide on how to do those steps that I mentioned earlier, with the adding the verification method in the enrollment to ensure that you can self-unlock your accounts. Next slide. Okay. Sometimes you may have an issue when you're on campus, especially if like you're in a classroom and you're using technology and you go to turn on the system after following the steps, and all of a sudden the PC is just not coming up on the projection screen and you need assistance, or you had access to something before and you're getting an error on the page. So here you can report that incident through the portal by clicking on the report an issue button. The form is really simple. As you can see, there's not that many fields, I promise. We have the requester should default to you. Then it is, if it would be helpful to provide a contact phone number to get back to you. If it is an on-site need assistance, then please do provide the location. It helps us get to you sooner. A brief subject line is there, and just giving us a brief description of what issue you're having. And if you have a screenshot, please do attach that at the bottom, so that way it ensures that we can see what's going on, especially if it's an application that's just being wonky and we're not sure what's going on. So we can definitely, at the desk, receive this ticket and be able to escalate it to the appropriate group. So once you submit a ticket, you will get an email, which I'll show that email in my next slide in a moment, that will confirm that your ticket was submitted and that a technician will be in touch with you. Next slide. So this slide is about requesting a service request. As Robin noted, that you can request reports to be generated from our Cognos warehouse. So I was showing an example here of that. By going to our service request, I went under the software, cloud services, and business applications category, and I found the Cognos warehouse request report. And so I submitted a test report request. Once I did that, I can then look up in the portal my ticket. I also received the following email, which you'll notice the email acknowledges that I requested this report. It's not from a RWU email address. It is from a freshservice.com address, which Freshservice is the host of our portal of our portal application that we utilize here at the university. So this is actually correct. This is how you will communicate to us through your ticket. If you have any questions or follow-ups that you would like to add to your ticket, you would respond to this email, and it will go right into our ticketing tool, and it'll help because it'll go directly into that ticket to give an update to the agent that's assisting. The reason I point out the service request and I'm being very detailed is because this generates a ticket that goes directly to the group that manages warehouse reports. So when you are requesting a service through one of these forms, it is going directly to the IT associated group that will assist you with this need. It just reduces the time that you're waiting for your resolution. And so it really is making it more efficient for you to get what you need from us in IT. Okay, that was what I had about the portal. Are there any questions regarding the portal? Okay, then I'm going to send it back to Karen.
Thank you so much, Samantha. So we're going to open up for questions in a minute, and I want to thank you all who have been putting questions in the chat throughout. And we, as I said at the beginning, we're available here to answer questions about any of the services or resources that we've talked about today, as well as any technology service or resource here at the university. So feel free to ask any questions. But we did want to just point out a couple of other resources. In particular, we have the link here to our training website. So this is a link off the IT.rwu.edu website, a technology training, and it has some great resources there, including the Ryan mentioned in the chat link to request for training for some of the resources we've talked about today. We also include links to both NERComp and EDUCAUSE, which I think are sort of underutilized resources here. So these are sort of considered IT professional development organizations, but they have an enormous amount of resources around technology for the higher ed use. So lots and lots of articles and webinars and resources there. For instance, if you're interested in learning more about AI and finding out the trends in that, EDUCAUSE in particular is doing a ton of different work in that area. There's also user groups that you can sign up for and get emails. So for instance, I'm in the EDUCAUSE AI user group, and I get daily emails that have links to great AI resources that can be used in faculty teaching and learning. So the links are there on the technology training site, and anyone with an at rwu.edu email can sign up for a NERComp or EDUCAUSE account. So I encourage you to really check that out. So at this point, I want to open it up for questions, and you can feel free to continue to ask questions in the chat, or just come off mute and ask your question, or raise your hand, whatever you're comfortable.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Yes, hi. I just posted my question in the chat, but sometimes we get an email from MediaTek that your ticket is open and the ticket is closed, but somehow it doesn't say which ticket. Like I have a few things going on. I'm like a full-time faculty, like full-time member of staff joining in this January. So there are a couple of things which is going on, but I'm not sure which one is open and which one is closed. How to myself just to understand what to click. Even if I click, it doesn't show me the information. Can you just help me with that? Thank you.
Samantha, could you address that, please?
So at the end of each email, it should have the hyperlink directly to your ticket that they're responding to. So you'll see it. It'll say ticket with the hyphen and then the direct link URL. And so that way, when you go to the portal, it should hyperlink by clicking on that link from your email to that ticket in the portal.
It does, but it doesn't give me the information. So that's the reason I'm asking. Like, it's not I have not put that ticket in. Somebody else, like my department head has put the ticket in, or somebody else. I'm having some issues with the laptop or with the VPN or with setting up an different email because I'm the international advisor. So I don't have access to a lot of different things right now. So other people are doing it, but I'm not sure. So it's sometimes it becomes hard for me to understand what is the ticket for and which one is closed. So that's the reason I'm asking.
Yeah, I'm wondering maybe, Samantha, could you follow up with Dr. Mehta,
Yeah.
maybe, and just do a quick demo on that?
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Other questions? Okay, I'm going to throw a question back at you all then, if you don't have any questions. So my question for you is, we have an opportunity to do these things sort of semi-regularly. And we also are always trying to make sure that we're providing, the best. Joyce, I'm going to stop, and Joyce has a question.
Okay. Just real quick, you don't have to answer it now, but maybe what are future technology plans, apps or other resources or tools for the campus community?
Well, I'll answer from the support services side, and then maybe Ryan could unmute and talk a little bit since he has more information on more of the application side. But from the help desk side, one of the things we're really exploring right now is how to be as efficient as possible in offer as many self-help options as possible. So we're actually piloting some AI features right now within our portal that would enable us to get solutions to you faster. And we have also put our name in to try to be piloters on sort of a chatbot, an AI chatbot. So that's something that we're hoping to do from the support services side in order to get your tickets resolved faster. And, we always say the best service is where you don't have to talk to us at all, right? Where the resources are just there and you can get them yourself. Ryan, would you be willing to talk a little bit about other things that might be coming up?
I can point out a couple real quick that we're working on integrating a single sign-on, like Scott mentioned, with all of our applications, including upcoming. We're getting Tableau and Cognos on board. So those links will integrate with single sign-on in all the applications that everybody already has access to.
Awesome. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks.
So I was wondering, what is helpful to you? What kind of, are sessions like this helpful? Are emails that we send out with tips or are tricks helpful? Are there other topics that you would like us to share with you about, sort of what are we doing well? What are we, what would you like to see us doing more of? If anyone's willing to share.
I personally think like sessions help because if we have a question, we can get an answer right away. And emails, sometimes maybe you are trying to say something directly, like which is understandable to you, but maybe a person who doesn't know that term or doesn't know that piece of technology can be a little bit more like for me, I can talk about myself. It's not helpful just with an email, but the sessions like this is more helpful.
Okay.
Thank you.
And more helpful because you have a little more description and you can sort of see the content and get the context.
Yes, we can see it, and then there is somebody to answer that question right away.
Yeah, thank you. That's helpful. Barbara, I noticed that you unmuted.
Yeah, I just had a quick question, and I don't know if this is something that everyone is curious about, but as far as like equipment, like, is there like we don't know when new things are coming available, how old my computer is or how much memory I have, you know what I mean? Until something goes wrong, I've had different issues. And is there like a schedule that we should be aware of, that there might be upgrades to our equipment needed, and is that something that like we could have access to? I don't know. Some people have more difficult programs that they're managing and need more memory. And anyway.
Sure. Yeah. Well, so there's two different aspects there. There's sort of the software piece and or operating system piece, and then the hardware piece. So, for instance, many of our users across the campus right now are still running Windows 10, and we know that Windows 10 is sunsetting and not going to be supported anymore. So that's something sort of automatically that we're doing, and anyone who's going to need that upgrade has been reached out to or will be reached out to soon. On the hardware side, we do have a general sort of hardware replacement cycle. And that gets reliant at times, of course, on budgets and other factors as well. But generally, Jim Galeb manages that, and he will generally reach out to the deans or department heads in different areas to get some feedback on who might need hardware, new hardware. But certainly, Barbara, anytime that you're running into any problem, running an application, if you're having issues around your hardware not running the application, I really encourage you, to put in a request, and then we can have someone take a look. And if we need to figure out a way to, to make that work for you sooner than that replacement cycle, then we certainly will, because we want you to be able to do your work.
Okay. Or even if there's a way that, at that self-service portal, I could see how old I don't even, you know what I mean? That kind of like the age of my equipment here. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, we don't currently have the inventory. There is actually an inventory aspect of our portal, but we don't use that. We use a different software that we manage internally for that. Because that software allows us to push updates down to your computer remotely. So,
and then just if Robin's still here, that was really interesting. And I have like ideas of so many times of how I wish I could figure out different things, like reports that might be helpful for us. So it's not like I would even know what to put in. I kind of need to have a conversation. So that would be great if I could like pick her brain and see if it's something that
I'm happy. I'm not sure. Pardon my ignorance. What is your role at the university? What type of data would you be?
I'm a director of capital projects.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, senior project manager. And so I direct a lot of projects going on where I need data as far as like, well, I don't want to get into it too much, but some of it's personnel, some of it's space.
Okay.
Some of it's scheduling. So it just could be a lot of different things, and to try and find a source for that rather than me just running around and checking in every room would be good.
Robin, could you reach out to Barbara after this and maybe set up a time to
absolutely.
discuss?
Even if it's like, it's not me, it's somewhere else, I can at least I can do for you, and maybe who else can assist. I know
There's Becky.
We can chat.
Awesome. Thank you, Robin.
Sure.
I see that Linda's saying that she prefers sessions and emails can get lost, and this kind of forces her to stop for a bit and focus. So that's really helpful. Thank you, Linda. Yeah.
I'd like to say something. I tend to agree with that. I like having these sessions. First of all, it's nice to have a human on the other side. Nice to see some of you guys that I work with and never see. You're not some angel up in the sky. But at the same time, when you're doing a one-on-one kind of thing, I'm relatively new to a few things. And I had some not so great fun with eTree because a lot of the stuff didn't make sense. So if I had someone at the onset just give me 5 or 10 minutes and say, okay, this is what eTree is for, walk through it, take notes, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I really do encourage you, we're happy to do that sort of targeted one-on-one training. Every area in IT is happy to do that, so definitely we have some specific forms for training. So we have a form for classroom equipment training. We have a form, as we mentioned, for Cognizant Warehouse training, and I think there's a couple of others. But if you want training in something that's not listed there, just the general service request. Just general service request, and just say, you know, I could use 5 or 10 minutes of someone's time, and we'd be happy to set that up. Okay. Other questions and feedback? All right, so we are going to post this recording on our training website, and Samantha and I are also planning on sending out an email to the community and also posting it on. We just started up a LinkedIn. We have sort of, you know, we've had Instagram and Facebook for a while, but we just started up a LinkedIn for Media Tech as well. So if you want to connect with us there, we're planning on sending this out there as well. And as I always encourage you, if you have any questions or anything that you're confused about or any feedback for us, please do reach out. We're constantly trying to improve our service and make it the best that we can for you all. And really want to thank you for taking time on, I know, what is always a busy day. Yeah, thank you so much. Take care.